Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. This is the last project that I'm going to do with Bargain Bead Box subscription for the month of August. These are the beads I have left with, and in this the green bicones and the pink ones are the ones that I was left with. And I didn't use this big pendant because the projects that I chose is not feasible for that. So the next thing, so I'm going to string beads, and I'm going to have this metallic spaces. These are not from Bargain Bead Box, this is from my own stash, and I'm using 7-strand beading wire for my own stash as well. If you have the beading wire that you got from the last month's subscription box, then you will have this is my bead stopper, and then my uh, needle nose pliers. So I have some 22 beads here and 18 beads in this one. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to add some metallic elements to it. So first I'm going to string a bead, this metallic 1mm bead, and then a roundel, and then a metallic bead, and then this candy pinkish red bead. So this is my pattern. I think it's pretty, so I'm gonna continue with that. So you can also add seed beads if you have that in your stash, and you can means I just wanted a little bit of length, plus I wanted because I have only 40 beads or so for the entire necklace, I wanted to add more elements to it. So probably that's the main reason I'm doing this. Plus if I add a metallic element, so in the pendant side of this necklace I'm going to add some dangles. See, I have already constructed some, don't worry, I will take this out and redo it. I just want to make sure that if it looks good or not, that's why I tried it. So I'm going to take it off and then show you guys again. But this is a pattern that I'm going to string one metallic bead and then one roundel, crystal roundel, and this bead. So this is my pattern. I'm going to string half of the beads that I have here, and then I'll come back. So I have strung half of my beads, and now I'm ready to add the pendant side. So what I'm going to do is I need some crimp tubes or crimp beads. You can use any of the things that you have available at your disposal. I'm going to use some stainless steel crimp tubes. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a crimp tube in my strand, okay, and take one of the connectors and put this wire into the loop in the connector and come back through the crimp tube, and then just pull this through. So it has to be parallel. Make sure you pull it all the way, because this is going to be the pendant. You don't want any awkwardness there, so you just want to move all the way up to this link, and then just crimp it with my pliers, just the needle nose pliers. So here it is. Now I move all my beads towards this. So there's a short tail. I'll feed the tail through the beads, and I'll bring all the beads right there. Okay, now we are going to do the pendant part, and just move it a little bit ahead so that you guys can, everything is inside the frame. So now what are we going to do is I am just going to connect some of my I need jump rings. Now I am going to take a jump ring and then add one of these connectors Okay, add one of these connectors to this center thing and another connector, and then close the loop. Don't worry about this part yet. We will finish the pendant part and then come to that. Then take another open jump ring and take another connector and then connect it to this. So I am connecting 3 of those. If you have more, you can just make one necklace just by using the connectors, and you can form a bead connector in between just to add some color to it. There we go. So the 3 connectors are connected now, and now I'm going to add one connector down here and another connector down here. For that I use a jump ring as well. I'm not adding in the same jump ring because the flow won't be proper. I tried it, it didn't work. So I'm adding one more jump ring to this jump ring, and I am adding it in the front just like so, and then closing it. Then I take one more jump ring and the last connector that I have and connect it here in between the first 2 connectors that we did. Okay, when I lay it down flat, you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. See that? I'll show you guys up close as well. Can you see that? That's all. So now what I'm going to do is, I did form the basic ones that I wanted to. So now I want to add jump ring and this sunflower pendant. I think that's a sunflower pendant, I'm not so sure. So I'm going to add these 2 here, then I'm going to make a connector and add it here. But before I close this, I want to, so there is something called S-links that I make and keep. So I make these 8 shaped links that is used instead of a jump ring. So you can also make this and connect it, that way it will be properly here. Okay, and there will be gap in between those. You can do that, or you can do a beaded connector, but I would like to do this. So I have some 8 strands here. Let me, even I make this with my scrap wires actually. If I have couple of scrap wires lying around, so I would use that and make these things. For example, I'll say this is a scrap wire that I have. It's an aluminum wire, but I'll show you guys exactly how to make this. We need round nose pliers for this project. Take your round nose pliers and put it over here if you want the 8 shape like that. Just make sure the wire is straightened. This one is not, but still. Then this one is small. The bottom part of the 8, I would like to do it little bit bigger. So I just do this, come all the way. Okay, don't finish it, come all the way. When you see the cross over the top of the wire, and then what you do is you just snip off at the top, just like so. Okay, when you do that, it just overlaps a little bit, but when you press it flat, it just makes this 8 shape. So that's what I made here. So I'm going to use that those links for this project. You can make a couple of them and keep whenever you have time and you have scrap wires left over. That's what I do. So I just open up one of the link, okay, and then add it to this top part of this link, okay, and close it. take the bottom big link, open that up, and add a sunflower to it. Okay, so sunflower is not two-sided, just pay attention on that. So how it flows. Okay, it's completely opposite, so I am just going to fix that. Take the sunflower like that, then put it this way, and then close the 8th loop. Okay, there we go. Now so far done. Okay, now I want to add another 8 hook loop. First I will open the bottom part, which is a big one, and add my sunflower to it. Okay, then open up the top part, which is a smaller loop of the 8 structure, and add it to the last end of this loop right here. Okay, take it and add it, and then close it, close the 8th loop. There we go. So now these two are attached. Let me see this one also I made ulta. I made it in the opposite direction. Okay, open this up, take it out, and let's just fix that first. Okay, now this part is created. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to make a connector. I want this in the middle, so I want to make a connector here and here. Those two parts I want to make a connector. So I'm thinking of adding these beads right here because it looks kind of nice and it ties this pink in this bead. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use wire. You can use 20 gauge silver wire or 18 gauge, whichever you have available. You can use those and make it. So I have some 20 gauge para wire. That's what I'm going to use. Gonna load this bead to my 20 gauge wire. Let me see if it goes through. I'm sure it goes through. I did work with it. So, and then bend the wire just about a centimeter or so, and then make a loop. Just a small loop. Now I will bend the wire at 90 degrees or so, and then snip off my wire about a centimeter, leaving a centimeter out for our loop. So there we go. One connector is done. Now let me add the next bead to the same. You can use your round nose pliers and bend it to 90 degrees, or you can change your pliers. It's totally up to you, the comfort level with which you want to do. Okay, and then this side, you can just bend it with your fingers also. Just cut about a centimeter. I just eyeball it. I just don't measure it. Once you start making the loops, it will become like very easy for you to just eyeball it and see if it is enough for you to make a loop. And there we go. Our connectors are done. Now all you need to do is open up the connector. Okay, one side of the connector, and there is two connectors which is coming down right here, the silver ones, these two ones. That's the one I'm going to concentrate. Just going to put it in that and close the loop. Put it in one of those connectors. Okay, just like so, and then open up another connector. Do the same, open it up just like how you would open a jump ring. Add it to this loop and close. Okay, now we have this so far. Okay, this so far. Now I'm going to connect these two with this, but I need a jump ring or so. Let me see, because this is everything is horizontal, so let me just turn the connectors loop rather than doing it other way. Okay, let's just first see, open up this loop, add this charm to it, and close this loop. Similarly, open up the loop in the next bead and add it to the same charm. Okay, and then close the loop. Okay, make sure it's completely closed, don't leave any gap. So this is what our pendant looks like so far. Okay, this is how the pendant will look like. I really like it and it works better. So this is our pendant. Now I will move all my beads here. Okay, just make sure your tail is tucked in as well. So now I need to cut this. Before cutting, I just want to measure the length of this the beaded portion. It's only 7.5 inch, give or take 8 inch. So it will be a short necklace. I'm fine with it, so I am going to snip my wire off, leaving considerable distance because I don't want to realize later that I cannot wear it. So I'm leaving about 3 to 4 inch. There we go. Then I'll put my bead stopper here, just to make sure the beads doesn't go anywhere. Now I need to connect this side of my pendant to the beaded portion. I will thread in all the beads and I'll meet you guys back. So now we will connect this side of the pendant with the crimp tube and so I have loaded my rest of the beads in the strand. Now I'm going to connect it to the pendant. I'm taking a crimp bead and then going through the last loop of this link right here. Either way is fine. And then I'm going to come back through the crimp tube. Okay, then pull this through, making sure the wire inside the crimp bead is parallel and not tangled or on top of each other. Push it as much as you can. Take your pliers and just crimp it flat. There we go. Now you need to pull all the beads down here. Okay. Make sure this bead goes on top of the short tail. And followed by all the beads. You can snip off the tail, but I don't want to. It just added, I feel that it adds more security to the necklace. It's just a thought process, guys. I don't know if it is true, but it's just a thought process. So this much only the necklace is okay. Now again I have to put this through. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Now the necklace is short and there is 2 more beads right there which I can add. Okay, now a couple of the metal beads here. Move away our jump ring. We need only 2 more crimp beads, silicone tubes. We don't need any more of this. Just two is enough. So if I take this is all the necklace is. So I'm just going to cut this wire first, leaving about say 3 inches or so. Then take that one off of this, and I'm going to add it here. That way both sides will be uniform, and then I'm going to add extra chain in the back for additional length. That is if you want more length. Just going to keep it around my neck and see. I think it should be good. I'll save those 2 beads. I need to take care of this tail. Make sure it just all the beads go through that. Okay, I fixed that. Now I will put my bead stopper here. Okay, and this side also, it's out the tail. There we go. So now pull all of these, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just making sure all my beads are where it is supposed to be. I don't have any mismatch or so. I cannot go back again, so I'm just checking one more time. Okay, good. Now I have this chain. I got this from Bead Box Bargains as well. I don't know if it came in the package or not. I think a chain came in the package. I pretty much used it. This might be from the last box, I believe. I'm not so sure though. So, but anyways, if you have a stash, and then you can use that, right? So I'm just going to take, say 4 inches. Okay, that's all you need. 4 inches of chain right there. Okay, then I'm gonna cut this into half. Let me tell you guys why I want that. Okay, so that's all the chain that we need, and we need some jump rings. So take a jump ring, open it up. This jump ring also came in the last box, so I'm just going to add the last link of my chain. Oops, this is my jump ring. I'm gonna add the last link of my chain in here, both the chains in here. And then close it. Now take another end of the chain, take another head pin, sorry, jump ring, and add it there. Oopsie. Take your bent nose pliers and close the jump ring, go back and forth, and you know when it's closed. See this, I have jump ring in the middle and I have jump ring at the end. So now this end where there is no jump ring, that's where we are going to connect it with our um, beading wire. So I put a crimp tube in it. Okay, come through this chain link, the last link of the chain where there is no jump ring, and then go back through the crimp tube. And if you have the metallic bead and the crystal beads, they have pretty much big hole, so it will go through. Let's see, there we go, it's going through. So just 2 beads is enough, and I'm going to pull this down, and then just pull the entire thing down. The loop will get bit bigger and the distance here will reduce, and then pull this all the way down, holding the chain. So now you know whether there is enough space, is there a gap or anything. Just you want to check now. Once you crimp, you won't be able to. So there we go. Then go ahead and crimp it just like that, and then snip off the tail as close as possible. So this is ready. The other side, take the crimp tube. I think I cut a lot of wire than I need. Okay, and we need clasp, and I'm going to use lobster claw clasp. This is from my own stash. You can use the toggle clasp that came in this box as well. Since I'm using chain for adjustment, I want to use lobster claw clasp. Open up another jump ring, add the lobster claw clasp to it, and then close it. Okay, you can add this jump ring to this, or you can add the beading wire directly to it. It's totally up to you. So normally they would add a jump ring, but I'm thinking why not do it directly to the lobster claw clasp. You can do it this way also. Now I would go back through the crimp tube and metallic bead. Okay, it's not going through, so I'm just trying to figure that out. The metallic bead right next to it has some problems. So what I'm going to do is, you can either take it off and restring with a different metallic bead, which I'm gonna do because I would like to have the tail tucked in, just like how we did the other end of the necklace. Okay. These have very teeny tiny holes. The crimp bead has a wide hole, so that should not be a problem. Okay, now let's come back through the crimp bead, through the metallic bead. There we go. For some reason, the metallic bead is very means it went very well the other sides, right? I meant to say side because we did only that side, and over here I didn't add the metallic bead. But anyways, let's just pull this, pull the wire all the way, and make sure this wire goes through the roundel as well. Okay, make sure there is no gap, because now only you can adjust, later you cannot. Use your pliers to pull this down and then go ahead and crimp it. Just squish the bead. That's it. The necklace is done. Snip off this tail as close as possible. Our necklace is done. So this necklace has an adjustment, so that's why I cut it in two places, like in the middle. And then if you want to add just this length to the necklace, you can add it here and leave it that way. Okay, if you want more length, you can add, you can increase. There is two options. That's what I wanted to tell. And let me see how this pendant is right here. So this is the necklace, this is the pendant, and this is the necklace. I hope you guys like this. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos every day. It comes almost every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.